this is the new standard for January horror movies, then holy shit, I'm excited for the future.
Escape room.
Escape room. Alright, I'm back. It's been like 4 or 5 days since I've made a video. Maybe 6. I don't know. Who's counting? I've been sick. I haven't got to see this movie. I was going to see this movie on Friday, but unfortunately my stomach said no. I'm going to make you sick for 4 days straight. But I'm kind of glad that I got to see this movie kind of late, because when I went there today, it was not packed at all. So that's a positive for me. Unfortunately, I still got to see this movie late, and everybody beat me to it. That sucks. But this movie has a simple premise of just escape rooms. We've seen it before. It's multiple movies like Saw 5 especially. It looks like this one. We got the other movies called Escape Room. This movie ripped off the title of another movie. But what makes this movie unique? Well, it's done better. Bigger budget. This is a movie that's very fun to watch, especially if you partaked in anything like this, and I have. I've done it like 2-3 times, and every time I'm the useless guy in the group who doesn't know what the fuck to do. I just kind of sit in the corner and let everybody else do it. I've done one where I was like handcuffed to the wall along with everybody else, and I was the one with the key next to me the whole time. We spent the first 10 minutes not knowing what the hell to do. That's my story. But this movie's more fun to watch if you've done something like this before, because you know who you would be in this group. You'd be the one either fucked, or you'd be, I think I can make it. Me, I'd be fucked. Let's go over the positives. Set design. Let's start right there. The rooms, very elaborate. Love them. I especially like the billiard one where it turns upside down and it's like musical chairs. I thought they were very elaborate and very unique. They all had their own little flavor and it changed the setting. Even though this is a one setting movie, it still feels like it's multiple places, and I enjoyed that. The cast. The cast of people, they're a bunch of no-names. I don't know them from any other movie, and I like that. And I want to see Johnny Depp in this movie or something. But the acting across the board was good, and I enjoyed all of them. They all have their own unique personality. And because of that, it makes you have more of an impact when one of them dies, and yes, people will die in this movie. Spoiler alert. I like that we actually got to know a little bit about these characters. I wish we could have got to know a little bit more. The introductory is kind of short. They enter the room, they say their piece, and then it's over. That's one little nitpick I have about this movie, is I wish I would have known just a little bit more about a couple of these characters that we didn't really get to know too much about. But overall, these characters were great. I loved all of them except for one who's the cliche dickhead. He was supposed to be the antagonist one of the group. And this movie has a great opening, except I don't agree with it. I mean, if it was done some other way, I would have liked it. It's one of those endings where they insert action from the middle of the movie to let the audience feel like this, to show the audience what this movie is going to be. But to me, it just kind of spoils some things for me. I didn't like it. For me, that's the movie saying we don't think you're going to be interested enough listening to people talk, and then we just want to give you some action real quick at the beginning to say, hey, this is what you could see if you stay in the theater, so don't leave yet. I like that the characters in this movie don't make stupid decisions. You got the one kid who's just very, very, very naive, and that's a negative for this movie. I don't have too many negatives to say about this movie, but this character is very fucking naive.
Talk about immersive.
What's wrong with you? That was real!
This movie also made me laugh a couple of times. That's hard for me to do. I have no soul. It's hard to laugh. This movie actually made me crack up a couple of times. The score in this movie, it gets real intense in quite a few scenes. Great tension, camera work. It does the 360 Saw-like stuff in the Saw series, just to show you how delirious the actor's getting. But that score at the very end, the end credits and the fight scene towards the end, I like that. The score, A+. Brian Tyler, he does a lot of movies. I love the ominous creepiness feeling of being watched while they do it. They don't know who sent them there, and I love that mystery, but then it kind of gets spoiled towards the end. And we'll get to that. And did I say I love that these characters don't make stupid decisions? I gotta say it twice if I didn't already say it, because horror movies are known for that, and I love that they all work together and they don't do stupid shit. There was one thing that happened where I was like, oh, that sucked, but then later on I was like, oh, that's alright, that was cool. They actually pulled the rug out from underneath me on one moment, so I actually enjoyed that. Alright, negatives. Yeah, that one character, way too naive. Alright, just seriously, wake the fuck up. Another negative is they try to set up this little reveal about one character and his story doesn't add up, and it's like, well, I saw that coming. He tells a story and it ends up being bullshit. I won't say which one, but come on, we saw it coming. How could you not? Here's a nitpick. I think that all of them would have gotten frostbite in that one room easily. I don't know how long they were in there. There's no timer. They have all day to get that one room done. They would have gotten frostbite. You do have to stretch your imagination while watching this movie. You just have to believe that there's a skyscraper building in Chicago that can do all this elaborate shit and get away with it. But they do explain in one moment towards the very end about how they get away with the people they kill. With covering it up. They cover it up and they make newspaper articles and whatnot. I won't say who they are, I don't want to spoil it. And once you get towards the end, you get that final explanation about who's doing it, what's responsible, why. It's like, oh, really? We're doing that again? It's been done before. I can list 2 or 3 movies that have the same explanation about why this is happening, and I'm sick of it. This movie does this cliche, evil lives on. I mean, I'm sick of it. Sick of that too. I'm sick of it. Evil lives on, and they're going to hint at a sequel at the very end that tells me that somehow they are going to plan this elaborate escape room within 2 weeks. for this, yeah, bullshit. They're not going to be able to, how are you going to pull that off? And another negative, and I have to say it, is that this movie's already been done before. Like, it isn't that unique, but it's just done better. Like, the very beginning opens like Detective Strom in Saw 5, and the whole scenario of them having to work together to get from room to room is exactly Saw 5. If one fucks up, it could, and one person, they think that one person has to die in each room, but really they can all make it if they just work together. So I had to deduct some points for not being that creative. Every room was basically the same way to get out, like some kind of combination. It wasn't that creative, but it was still creative. It could have been more. And this movie was PG-13. It could have been rated R. It could have been gory. It could have been something very interesting, but they decided to water it down. And yeah. But overall, this was a great movie. I had a great time. This is a great January horror movie, especially. So therefore, when it comes to Escape Room, I would say that you should definitely go out and buy it. What was your favorite room in this movie? My favorite room was the billiard one where it goes upside down. It's like musical chairs. That was my favorite. Also, what are your New Year's resolutions? Mine's to see more movies if I don't have a stomach problem. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this, and as always, you can support this video by clicking on this like button over here, and you can support my channel by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds to see more content. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.